This is a toy spot on the DC Universe Classics, the 75 years of superpower. Today we're going to be looking at Plastic Man. Available through San Diego Comic-Con. I believe also being released through Mattel Collector. Depending on when you're watching this review, it might already be available on mattelcollector.com. The one few times a DC Universe figure is released in a larger box. A larger, almost mailing box, very similar to the Masters of the Universe Classic figures. Except we actually have a print, we actually have a design on the box. It's not just a white box. Very nice looking artwork on the front. Got a very nice looking Plastic Man showing on the front. On the side, DC Universe, DC Comics 75. On the back, same as the front. What we'll do is we'll open this up here, just because there is more involved to the package, besides just the actual mailing box here, or the outer box. And when we take the package out of the box, what we essentially have looks like a shirt to me. We spin her around, we've got a nice looking package featuring Plastic Man. What I like about the Plastic Man box is that they've actually made it look like the package is made out of Plastic Man himself. Complete with his hands. I guess those look to be his hands. And then his goggles up at the top. Basic red design. I love it though. I mean, great design. I think Mattel went all out when they made this packaging. And on the front you can see that Plastic Man is displayed here with his spring bottom. You also notice his paddle hand and his fly swatter hand. Get into all this as we get the figure opened up, but I do like the package quite a bit. On the top, you also see his hair there. On the top they actually give you a envelope here with a file card. Confidential. It's not for everyone's eyes, but I'll let you guys see it. The Comic-Con version of this, or actually there were, I think, it's one of those things where, much like the Wonder Twins, you could get the Plastic Man, I believe, on his own, and then there was also the opportunity to get the clear bagged suitcase as well. The suitcase would allow you to put Plastic Man's head on the top and kind of make it look like he's turned into a suitcase. I don't actually have it with this particular figure, but I believe inside the suitcase, along with a couple of comics, would be this as well. And we open it up. Inside we've got the read up here of Plastic Man. Meta-Human Report. Alpha level clearance only. Name, Patrick Eel O'Brien. Alias Plastic Man. Height, 6 foot 1 inch. Weight, 178 pounds. Eyes blue. Hair black. Criminal history, petty larceny. Resisting arrest, burglary, disorderly conduct, breaking and entering, and assault. Doesn't sound like much of a hero so far, does it? Affiliations: All-Star Squadron, the MBI, Justice League of America, and psychological profile: orphaned as a child, embittered predisposition to criminal tendencies, overreactive imagination, unpredictable and mischievous sense of humor. And then we've got some nice images of Plastic Man here. I like that they haven't really messed around with Plastic Man's costume. It's kind of always stayed that real classic look to it. I really like that. On the back, the background says, during a botched robbery in 1941, Patrick Eel O'Brien was shot and fell into a vat of acid. The chemicals seeped into O'Brien's wounds and altered his body. He discovered that his flesh could stretch into any shape he imagined. Reforming his wicked ways, O'Brien became the hero known as Plastic Man. Current whereabouts: with his shape-shifting abilities and skill at imitating everyday objects, O'Brien specializes in infiltrating facilities or conventions where stealth is paramount. Last known location, San Diego, California, DEO. Agents instructed to be on guard for anything unusual, i.e. a lamppost with hands or a toy package wearing goggles. That's fantastic. But that is the cool little read-up that you get along with Plastic Man. So we'll put that aside. What we'll do is we'll get this very nice package opened up, and we will have ourselves a better look at Plastic Man. Stay tuned. Now, there certainly is a lot to be said here for Plastic Man. Before we actually get into that, you collected the DC Universe Lobo, the convention Lobo. You'll remember Lobo came with 3D glasses that were actually part of the package. You could put the 3D glasses on and experience what it was like to be either in the, I guess, the 50s or as Lobo. Plastic Man also does have that same similar idea. The very top of this package actually is his goggles. So you can remove the goggles, put them on, and you can pretend to be Plastic Man. I wouldn't necessarily let somebody pull your arm, because they might pull your arm right out. But pretty neat though. You get some goggles. I mean, it's a harder cardboard, so they're not likely to rip on you right away. But very cool. Very cool. I figured for the sake of the review, I'd start the Plastic Man in the mode, or actually in the way he was in the package first, and then I would just slowly go through each limb and each accessory that he comes with. First and foremost, you can see he's got his spring bottom. The spring actually does work. It is a fully functional spring. I like that quite a bit. You get a lot of play value out of this guy. The arms, now you only had one arm. You only had one arm actually in the socket when this guy comes out of the package. But he does come with another rubbery arm. And the arms will allow you, and there you go. That's what I was expecting to happen. The arms will allow you to stretch them quite a bit. I mean, they're quite flexible, as you can see. Also cool too, because if you've got these guys on display, you could have him wrapped around a villain. You probably could wrap him around a couple of times around the villain and get that idea of him being completely elasticized. The only downside though, and you see it quite a bit already in this arm, the way it's pegged, there's not really much involved in the way these guys are pegged in. If you pull the arm too much, this arm's not too bad. This arm though, you pull it too much, I worry that, as you can see, the rubber might separate too far from the actual joint and either tear, or the joint would just keep popping out on you. But he does come with these really cool arms. I like him quite a bit. I might be even inclined to have him on display with the arms and have him wrapped around somebody. The spring base I like. I will not have him on display with that base though. I just don't think it's as cool. To get it off, you just pop it off here. The pegs also are a little smaller than what you would expect with a DC Universe figure. So I would say I advise some caution when putting these on, pulling them off, putting these on, because these might break at some point. But he does come with a spring base, very cool. I'll take the arms off. And what you have is essentially just you just have an upper torso of Plastic Man. You can take the head off too. And if you remember the review that I did of the Fantastic Four movie series, Mr. Fantastic, I ripped that figure up to bits, complaining about how the joints and everything were so loose, putting everything on him, that it was so silly you couldn't even display him with those parts. It appears that Plastic Man only has one of them. He only has one of these rubberized joints where he can bend it, and that is in his neck. Personally, I think that is the only place where you should have it. Putting it in the arms and legs would only make for a figure that you can't do anything with. I like the neck, and that's enough for me that I probably could just put him on his regular legs, and the fact that I could give him the neck as that and give him the rubbery arms, I think that's probably a neat way to have him on display. But he does also come with other stuff too. There is actually a lot more that he comes with. He also does come with alternate arms, regular arms, if you so desire and only want him to look like a normal DC Universe figure. You can give him regular arms. If you do want to give him alternate arms, now you use the same arm, but you can swap out the hands. We'll just peg that into place. And one of the cool gimmicks that he does come with is an actual paddle hand. Paddle hand with a rubbery ball. It does actually work. Not that I'm very good at a paddle and ball, but it does actually work. I think that's very, very cool. You can also pull the hand out and swap it in for a fly swatter hand, and you can give him that as well. There's certainly a lot to be said for this guy. I mean, there's a lot of play value in this. If you're not a fan of those either, you can pull it out and you can put in just a regular hand. I don't know where I'll how I'll necessarily have him on display, whether I'll put the regular hands in or I'll actually make use of these. These are nice, but I think for a display, I think they're a bit too silly along with the spring. You can also give him regular legs. Snap that into place. And then you can have somewhat of a regular Plastic Man as soon as I change the neck back out. And put the head back in. And there you have a regular Plastic Man. Put the accessories aside just because I don't want to take up too much space here. And let's actually have a look at just Plastic Man in his regular body. I think they did a fantastic job on this guy. The head sculpt is quite nice. It's got that real classic design to it, which I really, really like quite a bit. His torso, however, his torso is a little bent. See if I could correct it. It might look like it's going to be bent. This. I don't want to. Maybe I'll just leave it. Coloring wise, it's very, very nice. He's got that classic red color. He's got the flesh colored legs. Everything works well on him. There is also a button on here too, and the button actually serves as a release to the joints. I'm a bit concerned still with this one arm. This arm here seems to be prone to pop out quite a bit. Based on play value, based on how many accessories you get, I really want to give Plastic Man a high mark. I love the very slender body that they've given him. I would almost go as far as to say that they should have given this body to the DC Universe Wave 16 Riddler. From what I can see, the Riddler uses a large body, which I don't think works well for Riddler. They really should have given him this body here. But I mean, that's one other aspect I really like about Plastic Man here, is that they haven't given him a normal DC Universe human muscle body. Way too big for a character such as this, and the sculpt, giving him that nice, slender, skinny body, just makes the figure look that much cooler. Paint is good, sculpt is amazing. I love the other accessories, although I probably won't use them with this guy. The one strike I could give him, if anything, is the fact that I'm a little worried with how small these pegs are. I'm worried that if you're not careful, these are going to break right off if you keep putting them on, pulling them off, putting them on. you get the idea. In the way of his articulation, standard articulation for a DC Universe figure. We've got full articulation in the head. We've got a ball jointed shoulder, which again is popping out. You can swivel at the bicep, you can bend at the elbow, rotate the hand. You can bend at the mid-torso, but this figure does not want to move at all. As you can see, if there's resistance, let it be. He can rotate at the waist. You can bend the legs back, forth, in and out. Rotate the thigh. Bend at the knee and bend at the foot. By far, this guy is worth a pickup. If you can find him, pick him up. I think you can still get him on Big Bad Toy Store. I'm not totally upset that I didn't get the suitcase. Again, the suitcase, much like the spring base, would probably be accessories that would sit over here. I would likely display him just as such. I might put the extended neck in. I could give him the rubbery arms, but just on his own, he looks fantastic. Plastic Man, I am going to give a 9.52. He is worth picking up. I'm just a little iffy on swapping limbs too often, because guaranteed something's going to break. But that was a Toy Spot. Today we were looking at the fantastic, the spectacular, the red. Today we were looking at Plastic Man. And with that, I'll wrap this up here, and I'll see you guys next time.